biggest bottleneck isn't coding, it's infrastructure. A developer wants to connect a service to a database. They don't know the IP, the tag, or the port. They file a ticket, security reviews it, operations execute it, and 3 days later, the port opens. So, I've built the VPC access broker to turn those 3 days into 3 seconds without sacrificing security. We have a multi-agent system comprised of our orchestrator, which is our VPC access broker. This manages the entire workflow. And we have 3 sub-agents, a query agent, which will translate friendly names like checkout service into network tags. We then have a policy agent, which will check every request against a strict governance file. And then finally, a firewall agent, which will implement the request if the policy passes. For the demonstration today, I've created 2 different scenarios comprised of a happy path and a high-risk path. So with the happy path, where the user requests connecting their checkout app to a billing database, VPC Access Broker will first send it to query agents, which will resolve the tags. It gets fed back to broker agents, which will in turn send it to our policy agents, which will determine whether the flow is accepted. In happy path, it will determine it's low risk and send it back to the broker as approved. Broker then sends it to our firewall agent, which will create the security rule. This is just a statement within our test harness to prove the case. In the second part of the demo, we'll see the high-risk path. It follows a similar workflow, but in this case, because we're requesting to connect public internet to our admin database, the policy agent is going to determine that it's high risk. At this point, it's going to pause the operation, demanding a external approval, and it will feed that information back to our user. So, without further ado, let's see this in action. As a side note, because I'm on the free tier, I only have a certain amount of requests per minute, so I've implemented a rate limit delay to make sure we're not hitting that within our demo. So you'll see those periodically through the process as we step through. Okay, so here we go. So here we start. User message, I want to connect checkout service to billing DB on requested port. We're now querying what that means for tags. Those tags are then fed back to the VPC Access Broker. Access Broker sends it to the policy agent. And then policy agent determines it's low risk and it's auto-approved. That information is sent back to the VPC Access Broker, which will figure out how to respond to the user, which it does, and applies the rule.